As you guys know, I've been following SHIB for quite some time now and everything's been typically very positive. But something has just happened that I need to warn SHIB holders about. Let's take a look. How's it going, guys? Ryan here and welcome back to another crypto video. We're once again looking at the Shiba Inu coin, and something has just happened that you will all want to know about. It is a pattern which has just formed and been confirmed on the Shiba Inu chart, which could result in you being a Shiba holder losing quite a bit of money. But before we get into that, guys, please remember to leave a thumbs up if you do enjoy today's video. Of course, if you want to see more of this sort of content, hit subscribe and turn on those bell notifications. We cover crypto, stocks, investing, and wealth management. And of course, I'd love to know your thoughts on this warning I'm about to give you guys down in the comment section below. But without any further ado, let's jump straight into today's video. Welcome into the SHIB chart, guys. If you're looking to buy SHIB or just want some free Bitcoin, there are a couple of links in the description of today's video. But I'm not going to dawdle around with, showing you various indicators and that sort of stuff. I want to get right to the meat of this straight away. So obviously we saw SHIB peak on the 28th of October and it peaked at a price of 8854, but it then continued to, consolidate, typically as you would occur. And the pattern that we saw form was a flag pattern. And a flag pattern looks basically a bit like this. You go from, I suppose, the base of your run. So let's grab right there, put a flag in place, and I'm actually just going to put it there for argument's sake. And basically what we see then is a flag pattern will form. This flag pattern, something important has occurred with it. As you can see, we did have this top end. That is very, very normal, and it was forming in a great way. But the type of flag that we saw formed was a pennant flag. And basically the pennant flag shows us that we are having a bit of, I suppose, a period of consolidation that could go either way. It's not bullish, it's not bearish, but it can be extremely volatile. And as you can see, as we got to, the pointy end of things on the 3rd of November, we saw something happen. And that something was a breakout, but it was not in the right direction. The breakout was in a downwards spiral. So on that date, we were at a high of that day and basically where we opened at 6922. And it looked like everyone was expecting, another sort of this pattern to occur, consolidation, then the next leg up. As we had seen previously over here, similar sort of thing, and it went up. That was the expectation. We were going to go up. But we saw a break downwards. And this is really not a good thing, guys. And not for the fact that we necessarily broke down, but it has been confirmed over 3 trading days now. That is the big issue here. It's not like we dropped down and then bounced back up, much like we saw on this day here on the 31st of October, broke down the bottom side but quickly sprang straight back up. This time it did not occur. It broke down and it continued. And what does this mean for us? Well, it means that for SHIB, it looks like we're moving back to our point of support. Now, keep in mind, if we bring in the moving averages, and we got 2 very important ones that we're looking at for SHIB. The 20-day moving average, and of course, the slightly longer term 50-day moving average. Now, the 50-day, not so relevant at this point in time, but the 20-day has just been broken. The point at which we were hoping we would fall to is exactly where that 50-day moving average is at 4887. So I'm going to put a line in place there because that is a key spot of support for us. Now, as you can see, what has quite literally just happened is that point has been broken. The ideal case scenario was we would have seen SHIB break down and then bounce and then start trending back in an upwards direction. This has not occurred. Unless something occurs within the next 24 hours, we have seen this point of support broken through. So what does that mean? Well, realistically, it means that this 50-day moving average we weren't concerned about is going to come back into play. but that means you could be looking potentially at a 50% loss based on where we're currently at. And that is even coming from, the high we were at previously. This point here, as you can see, is a massive area of support for SHIB. Between that, nothing. We really don't have any confident areas of support. That key area we needed to maintain was right here where the 20-day moving average is today. It looks to have broken, and as you can see, as we're going down, it seems to be doing exactly that. Let's just go the hourly quickly, have a look at that one as well. You can see it's tried to come back up. It's really tried to come back up above that key point, but dip back down. Once again, same thing's occurring, but it does appear to be trending in a downwards direction. What you want to do as a SHIB holder right now is make a decision. Are you going to hold and hope for the best? Or if this is confirmed, you need to consider whether or not you should sell, because the potential and the likelihood right now is we're dropping to 2882. So just be very, very careful, guys. Make sure you're conserving your capital, because that is a very decent drop right there. There is nothing. You go back, there is really nothing supporting us from this perspective, and SHIB has had a massive run, and as you can see, what goes up, as I say, must come down for a period of time. It goes with absolutely everything. One positive is that the volume that we're seeing right now is not significant. That means we're not seeing massive dumps occur, but instead we are still seeing a breakdown of this important metric, our flag pattern, which we had here, and potentially another breakdown underneath this key point of support for us. So be very, very careful, guys. It is imperative that you conserve your capital and make sure you're not risking money you cannot afford to lose, because this looks like it could be a potential big drop. Bring in some more indicators just to help us understand exactly what is going on. MACD, let's bring that one up. You can see that we have just seen the 12-day EMA cross below the 26-day EMA. That is a death cross. That is not good, something we don't want to see, and it is the start of a red period, and we're only 2 days into the red period on the MACD. These periods normally extend. So as you can see, our green periods have gone for a couple of weeks at a time. The red, I'm expecting now, will start to do the same as well, unless we see a very significant bounce today. It's going to keep moving down, and that means the price will continue to deteriorate. So obviously we need to keep in mind that means the only point of support we're going to is now sitting at this 50-day moving average at 2866. So once again, this is another indicator pointing to this direction. Now, one thing that I think will be beneficial is probably the relative strength index. Now the RSI, obviously, we've gone from an overbought position down into a sort of, I suppose, normal sort of range. We're back at 51, smack bang in the middle effectively of where the RSI can be. But what does this mean? Well, it means the price can, it's got room to go back up, sure, but it's also still got plenty of room to go down. We're nowhere near the oversold mark. So keep that in the back of your head. There is potential for this to continue dropping, and I expect to see that if we do have a confirmation today that this 20-day moving average has been broken, we're going to see that this drop is going to continue down to the 50-day moving average, our next point of support. So as I say, once again, guys, all the indicators are showing that this is not a great setup at the moment from a technical perspective. Be careful, conserve your capital, and make the right decision for you. As you all know, this channel is about educating you guys and teaching you the things to look out for, whether that's good or, in this situation, whether it's bad. Transparency is key here. You can't consistently be bullish on something. You're going to have periods of dips. This is not to say SHIB's not going to bounce back in the long run, but from a short-term perspective, things from a chart point of view do not look good at this moment. So make sure you stick to your strategy, whatever that may be, and make the decision that is right for you financially from a trading or an investment perspective. But I'd love to know your thoughts down in the comments section below on SHIB? Do you think it is going to bounce up? Do you think it's going to continue in this downwards direction for the time being? I'd love to know. And of course, if you did enjoy today's video, remember to leave a thumbs up. And if you want to see more of this sort of content, hit subscribe and turn on bell notifications. We cover crypto, stocks, investing, and wealth management. But I'll leave it there for today, guys. Hope you have an awesome day. I'll see you next time. Cheers.